not doing it, of course.
I am having an affair, a beauty affair. On my journey through slowing down the effects of aging, I am jumping into rabbit holes and blasting my way back out with knowledge that I want to share with you. Come follow my journey, learn with me, and let's get younger together. Hello, beauties. Welcome back to Beauty Affair. Hopefully welcome back, or welcome for the first time. I am Lindsay Aliseo, your jab journalist. Today we are talking Botox and dermal fillers. My guest and I, who I will introduce in a moment, are going to be debunking some common misconceptions and opening up your eyes to a whole new world of what I like to call, and I'm coining this, mark my words here and now, natural facial sculpting. So hashtag natural facial sculpting, right? Please, if you have not done already, subscribe, smash that like button, and if you're not logged into YouTube right now, there's a little white box above my head that says open app, and it makes it easy peasy to just like and subscribe. I love you. Thank you for doing that. Before I introduce my guest for today, I would like to introduce my lashes. Tiffany Lash is magnificently rebellious. She is wispy from start to finish. Tiffany is actually, I think, my favorite lash, and it's funny because I probably said that about like 2 other lash styles that I have, but I really do love Tiffany. She's my most fun lash. She's my party lash. Anyway, AliseoLashes.com. You can use beauty, capital B, beauty 25, and get 25% off. Okay. Let's do the little intro here. My beautiful guest today is a physician's assistant, and I researched her thoroughly before jumping in her chair. In doing my research, I was most impressed with her compared to others in her field. She is a trainer for Allergan. Is it Allergan? Allergan, right? Yes. Okay, good. I was supposed to ask you that first, and I forgot. See? Wait, let's see what else I can mispronounce. Allergan, the maker of Botox and Juvederm, as well as a trainer for Galderma, the maker of Dysport and Restylane. She was certified in all vampire procedures by its founder, Dr. Runnels. Did I say that right? Okay, good. This woman has been a cosmetic injector for 19 years, which is a lot. You'll learn why. And she is the Michelangelo of dermal fillers and the Monet of Botox. She is Filomena Abitino, RPA-C of Boost Your Beauty Medi Spa in Merrick. Welcome to Beauty Affair.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yay.
I feel honored to be here with you.
All right, I'm so excited. So, first of all, how was your Mother's Day? Yesterday, for those of you that are watching, we're just filming the day after Mother's Day, so we're going to talk about that for a moment. How was your Mother's Day?
Amazing.
Good.
Got to spend time with my kids. They were lovely. My mother-in-law, my mom. It's just amazing.
Did you do dinner? Did you go out, or you stay in, go to somebody's house?
We went out.
Okay,
yes,
good.
in Staten Island. So it was very nice to kind of see everybody.
That's right. Back to the roots,
Yes.
right? Staten Island.
How was yours?
It was nice. It was relaxing. Actually, it was freezing on the lacrosse field. Like, isn't that insane
It's
how
so
cold it was yesterday?
It is. I can't believe it.
I know. And I have my fireplace on every day, which is, it's the end of May. Like the beginning of May, May 9th. It's crazy. So let's get into it a little here. I want to start, we're going to do Botox and dermal fillers, but I want to start with Botox. I know the fillers is like your fave.
My fave.
And I am actually really excited to talk about that too. But I know people are super interested in Botox as well. Okay. So let's start there. As most of us have come to understand, Botox is an injectable that paralyzes the muscles to give you that smooth skin surface, right? How does it do that?
Botox works to block the nerve muscles that cause the muscle to contract. People we moved away to say paralyzed because you can do it cosmetically. You can do it very where it weakens, where you have lateral eye movement, so you're not frozen. Because no one wants a Spock look, no one wants paralyzed look. Most of my patients,
freeze face, they call it, right? Yeah.
Or so most of my patients come to me because of my natural approach to things. I've kind of got involved in it when people just wanted to look better, a better version of themselves. And that's where Boucher Beauty Medi Spa came from, the name. It's enhancing your own beauty. Just a boost is what I like to do, you know? So it's really what I believe.
And that's like I do. Like what do I always say? I want my eyebrows to move. You know, some people want more of that non-movement look.
Yes.
And some people want a little bit of movement. And the best thing is, Mena can achieve that for you if that's what you're looking for.
Yes,
I tell your injector.
Definitely. I do a thorough consultation. I take panoramic pictures of a patient on animation and non-animation, and then we look at them.
Yeah.
And then by your lines and wrinkles, I can see how you use your expressions and where those lines come from. So it's important to maintain that.
That's interesting. You can see from the pictures and the different make angry face. What is the other one? Make angry face, smile, you know. So she can look at those pictures on, you know, after her PA or whoever is taking the pictures. She looks at it and says, oh, okay, well, I see what's going on here. We need to add a little more here or a little less here. And this is the other thing that I love about Mena. She, again, I said before, I did a lot of research. Before this happened, I did a lot of research to land in her chair with different injectors. And one of the things that I loved was not only is she a trainer for the big brands, like if she's a trainer for the big brands, I mean, hi, that speaks volumes. Volumes.
Thank you.
Right. No pun intended. Pun intended. But that speaks volumes. But the other thing is the time that you take to sit down with somebody and look at their face and say, this is what we want to do, and talk to them and understand what they're looking for. Because not everyone does that.
It's the most important thing because I can see what muscles you're using to make your own personality.
Yeah.
You know, someone raised an eyebrow more and you want to maintain that, or you want to look at someone how they look at not only at rest and inject them at rest, but what they look like when they're animating, because you don't want to inject something like at rest, my cheeks may look a certain way, but when I'm smiling, you don't want that frontal fullness, and some may want to, but it's a conversation to have, and thorough consultation is most important in anything that we do.
Exactly. Not everybody wants to have the same results.
Yes.
And you're making that happen for each individual person. So what, a lot of people, I don't think, because I didn't have a clue, you taught me everything. How long does it take to see the effects after you have your Botox injections?
So any toxin can take 2 to 3 days to actually start to see a difference, but it's a full 10 to 14 days to have full, complete, you know, treatment of that. So why is that important? Because if your brow is a little higher or something is just not activating yet, and everyone evolves differently with the toxin, it's important to kind of sometimes be patient and trust the process, because a brow might still be kicking in. However, by me looking at my pictures, I know exactly how close or how far I went, if I need to tweak early or not. But you don't want to over-inject someone while it's still kicking in, because you don't want to have an event that you don't want, like a heavy lid or anything like that.
So if somebody comes and they, let's say we get injected today, and then 7 days later they say, I think I need a little more, you don't want to tweak until at least 2 weeks out, because you know that it's not fully there.
Yes. Sometimes people take longer, and it's best to wait. Okay. Trust the process and the injector.
And you're better to, like you said, it's better to not overdo it, and to do it where you know, especially if it's a first-time person.
Yes.
You know, because you probably get to know that person's face a little bit more every time you inject, right?
Yes. That's why I love the pictures, the before and after. There are some patients that come in and they're like, why are we doing all these pictures? I've never done that before. There is a method to my madness. When I do see you, and it's like a recipe. Every time you're doing it, we can, you know, customize the treatment to you to make the best outcome.
Love it. I love it. And I have to say, from my own experience, so the first time that I had the Botox done, I think it took the full 2 weeks to see anything. And now, like, we just did it, a week ago? Was it a week ago today?
Yeah,
I think it was a week.
Yeah, oh yes,
and it was. Right. We just did it a week ago today. And within like 2 or 3 days, I was already like, yes,
for sure,
kick it in.
For sure.
It's the best feeling ever. It really is, right?
Yeah, it does. You definitely feel lifted. It's amazing.
You feel so good about yourself. I'm telling you. If you're thinking about it, do it. Okay. So, all right, I don't want to talk about price yet. Let's talk about where on the face do you normally inject Botox, and where on the face should you not inject Botox?
So pretty much, Botox FDA approved, all the toxins are glabella, forehead lines, crow's feet. We have evolved to off-label usage amongst the practitioners. You can do a little bit underneath here to soften that little creping, your bunny lines when you're scrunching. Right here, tip of nose to bring the point of the nose up a little bit above your lip, what everyone knows as a lip flip,
Yeah.
or just to calm down the lines around the mouth, even the lines on the bottom.
I feel like the regular filler just does that.
I know. Some people, it's a, intro to filler. Like,
Okay.
they want a little enhancement without going full flesh, but that
Okay.
usually opens the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Get a little taste of it. Over here for chin cobbling, you can do a little Botox there, like you just lifted right there, and that's what we'll have to do. Yes.
Hold on, are we doing that next?
Yes. Your masseter muscles, people use it for TMJ, but also for facial slimming.
Oh.
Your DAOs, so the upturns of the corners of the mouth. You can do your platysma bands to help tighten. A lot of good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I just learned a few more that I just
know.
had no clue about.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah, we have beauty affair coming up. I need to be. Okay, so hold on. There was one that you just said. Oh, I want to ask about the eyes. So with both, because I actually did, and I'll post on YouTube. I think I'm going to do a little short. Tyler, I'm going to do a short for you. Then my producer is telling me I have to do shorts on YouTube. But I did a little video the other day because I saw it kicking in, and I was like coming out of the shower, and I'm like, oh my God, the lines are coming. Oh my God, you know those crow's feet?
Yes.
Like that's one of my
So
favorite
good.
things with
So good.
Botox. So how far do you get? And we're not talking tear through?
Tear troughs is for filler.
Okay. Yeah, we're not talking that. We're just talking the Botox around the eyes. Like, talk to
Yeah.
me about exactly what happens with the Botox around the eyes, because I think a lot of people, that's a major question or something that they didn't even realize.
Yeah. You could just hug. You don't want to go beyond the bone. So you want to say bone out, and you could just hug all around. Right?
And then you
I
go-
feel safe going here.
Okay.
I've been doing it for 19 years. I feel comfortable doing it. If it's something that I'm not in my comfort zone, I tell patients
Yeah.
truthfully that I'm not, but pretty much I've been doing it so long, it's really beautiful. You just kind of go
It
like
is.
this. Some people that have higher cheekbones, you don't want to go too far down because you don't want to break the smile and break
Yeah.
the cheek. So it's fully, during the consultation, we go over all that.
Okay.
Because I really like patients knowing what's going on,
course.
and how we can benefit.
The other thing with Botox is, and I think a lot of people don't understand why it happens. Tell me about, I didn't have this on here, but I'm just thinking of it. Tell me about like the droopy eye. How do people get droopy eye? What is the problem? What happens there that occurs?
So sometimes if you're trying to inject too close to the eyebrow, it relaxes, so you don't want to do that. Also, some patients have heavy lids. So you have to recognize that. So one
Yeah.
eyebrow is always higher than the other. So technically, you shouldn't do the same thing on both sides because the lower brow will go lower.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to recognize that. You got to take a minute to
I
look
have
at the
heavy lids,
patient.
right?
Yeah, so that's why we had gone less on you, especially
Yeah.
because you were having a procedure done. So I didn't want to mess with anything with that.
Yeah.
I needed you to look natural and feel natural. So that's why we were a little less on the eyelids, where you lifted, where you were a little higher on your brows.
Yeah.
Which you want to have some movement, or
like
you
it.
don't want it too peaky either.
Yes.
So it's a
peaky.
fine line, yes.
I know.
Too
peaky,
spocky, yes.
I know.
So-
You don't want to get those like,
yes,
right?
yes. So less is more, but we kind of adjust it.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. Let's get back to the actual questions. Oh, let's talk about how often. So I went yesterday, and I think maybe, and you tell me, does it have to do with if you are like I ask you to take it easy on my brows? So does that make a difference in how long I should come back, or talk
Yes.
to me about longevity?
Yes. So most people get 3 to 4 months out of it, but when patients are consistent with it, I could get 4 to 6 months out of it. So if your goals are just to maintain and we've gotten you to a place that you want to be, you could come every 4 to 5 months. But if you have the lines at rest and your goal is to soften those lines that have been etched there for years, you're going to have to be more diligent with it. So I'm going to have to see you at the first sign of movement or at 3 months, to reverse that damage, to reverse
Yeah.
those lines.
And so that would actually come into another question. We're seeing now that people are starting Botox a lot younger. Is that to prevent the lines from even starting, and then it makes it easier to maintain in the long run?
Yes, exactly.
So I should have really started in my 30s.
I know, but we can still do something, you know?
No, I know.
We're learning this now. Look, your
I'm
lines
very
have
happy.
softened.
Yes, I'm very happy with what I have going on. And it's funny because even like a couple years ago, I remember asking people, and I was at a place and at a med spa for something else, facial or something years ago, and I was asking about it, and the girl at the desk said, "No, you don't want to do that." And I was like, I'm sitting there going, am I in a med spa? She's telling me not to do it,
Wow.
And it kind of put me off, like, okay, well, what's that all about? But I wish now, because a couple people said, you don't need to start, I wish now that I did.
Yeah. I think if you have to take it for what it is, if those lines are starting to bother you, then do a little something about it. And then you don't have to do it as often. You could do it every 6 months. You could do it every 7 months. You're just taking it and doing it at a luxury, as opposed to once those lines, again, are etched, you have to do it, like, consistently. And it's more of, like, I don't know, a job, I feel like, but it's a luxury. We want to enjoy doing it.
Yeah. So who's a good candidate? Who's a good candidate to get started? When do you think is the best time?
Some people start in their 30s, and there are some patients that I see that in their, like, 25 years old, they're very, very expressional. So some people use those muscles fiercely, like, so they're going to have to come in. But if it's bothering them, don't. And then also sometimes just to lift an eyebrow to help open your eyes a little. So not necessarily are we chasing lines anymore, and that's what I feel like I always tell my patients. We're not chasing lines. I'm doing things to make you look better. So sometimes we have patients that the 11s don't bother them, but really to open up their eyes and, like, kind of just, like, you have beautiful eyes. To open that up is amazing. Open your crow's feet, like injecting those areas.
Yeah.
So there's other things to get it done for instead of just chasing all those lines.
Oh yeah, like my friend Amanda, when we came in the other day, she just wanted.
Yeah.
She never had Botox before. She just wanted a little here, and that was it.
That was good. That's
and
what
hers
she's
started
ready for.
kicking in, like, right. She was sending me pictures. I was like, oh my god, it was a couple days later.
crazy,
I
right?
know. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that one. Hold on. Oh, let's talk about this, because I think a lot of people are curious about this. And you have explained it to me personally, and I think it's very interesting that most people don't understand this. People talk about their Botox being watered down. Can you explain why people think that and what it actually means?
So when you get a toxin and it comes in, it's a film at the bottom of the box. Of the vial, I apologize. So when you open the box, it's a film. And you actually, as injectors, we put sterile, non-preserved saline in it, sodium chloride, and we put the amount in it and reconstitute it. So that is done. You have to do that. That's how you make it into a liquid. So some people have different ones. FDA approval is 2.5 for Botox. So some people put a concentrated version of, like, 1 for more experience and off-label procedures, because you don't want it to spread as much. So when I first learned 17 years ago, wow, to do your neck bands, to do around your mouth. So I don't want a dispersion of product. So it's a more concentrated dosage. Some people, they feel like they want it to spread more, using less product, but then with spreading more, sometimes you can get heavier lids. You have more risk of that, and it's less concentrated.
Other side effects,
So,
maybe, right?
Yeah. I like to kind of be more concentrated.
Okay. I hope that answered a question for a lot of people. I know a lot of people had that question, or they were thinking that. All right, so, did we miss anything? Before I ask my do's and don't question, what is the average price and how does it work?
So some people charge by area, but through the years, we felt that that's not really appropriate, because some patients who have more lines or larger foreheads, so I apologize, and have more lines, they're going to need more units to get the same thing as someone who doesn't have a lot of lines. So men need more units because they're stronger muscles. So that's how it varies. And again, through the consultation process, I show you how I disperse my units, so it makes sense why we need to do that amount of units. So I think that's important to really understand.
Okay, yeah, so per unit. And what am I'm usually getting about 40?
Oh my gosh. Probably more. So usually FDA approval is 20 units here. I can go anywhere from 19 to 21. If your line is not so strong, we could do even 15 units.
Okay.
But that's always something people asking, how much is it going to be? How much do I need?
Yeah.
Most average foreheads are 20 units FDA approval for. I can do anywhere from 16 to 25 if you have a lot of lines and strong muscles. Around your eyes, if you have very small crow's feet, 6 units to 10 units. FDA approval is 12 on each side.
Okay.
So it really, and then as we're, again, doing your consult, we'll say, what's really your priority? Like your friend, her priority was her crow's feet. So if you're putting too little, you're not gonna get the longevity of it. You're not gonna get what you want out of it. So it's better to do less areas and concentrate on what bothers you the most, because that's what people want. They want to see the results. And if it goes away because you put too little, then it's not the best outcome.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good. The do's and don'ts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the do's and don'ts. Hold on. One more thing. What are some things that we can do pre-injection to help prepare or maybe increase the longevity of the product?
Okay. So most people we recommend for Botox, and it'll be the same for dermal fillers, is to avoid any aspirin, Advil, Aleve, Motrin, fish oil, anything that thins out the blood, because you can bruise more. But there are patients that take these for medical reasons, correct? So we don't want you to stop that. We can deal with it, put pressure, and we'll tell you that you might bruise more. Not necessarily, but can increase bruise. Drinking red wine, sometimes alcohol, you want to try to, especially not before, or obviously 24 to 48 hours before, because it can cause more bruising.
No, I never drink 24 hours before, at least 24 hours before.
There's been some studies that show zinc can increase your longevity. Remember that? 4 days before, twice a day can increase it 30%. So there's no harm in doing it by all means. Arnica.
Arnica, okay.
Yes,
And
arnica.
what is arnica?
Arnica is natural. Underneath the tongue, you can put it, and you can do it 3 to 4 days before, and it's supposed to help with the bruising. We have seen definitely great success with that. There's also the topical version of it, the gel you can use after the bruise, but so underneath the tongue is the best. Eating pineapple, also because it has bromelain in it, and they do sell bromelain also. That can help diminish bruising.
You know what else pineapple's good for, right?
Yes.
Do you watch The Housewives?
Yes.
Sweet pineapples equals sweet.
Always keep
We'll
that
leave it at
pineapple in the refrigerator.
Oh my gosh. All right. So what about, let's do the do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts of Botox. What are any major do's and don'ts that you have for us besides what we just talked about?
Yeah. So afterwards, they say pretty much you don't want to touch the areas because you don't want any, bacteria or, there's little
pinholes.
injections.
You don't want to,
So pretty much that. Are we concerned about it? Not so much, but it's something we definitely say. You don't want to work out right after. Usually give it 24 to 48 hours afterwards. And that's really it, Botox is, it's very activated when you inject it. There's not too much concerns, but they'll say maybe 2 weeks without getting a facial, getting a massage, things like that.
Oh, well, that's the other thing. Doing all the facial things and the lasers. Yeah. So 2 weeks for lasers, right?
Yes.
Any laser or any type of, right? Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
what normally we say. Again, there's been some arguments that it doesn't matter, but it's always better to
Why
be safe.
take a chance?
Yeah. You wait it out.
Exactly. So, all right. I know I have this here. I was going to bring it with me. I have this tool, let's call it, beauty tool. I call it the vibrating egg. Pineapples and vibrating eggs. Here we go. It's and it's this little facial cleanser, and it has the silicone little thingies on it. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my brain right now. Anyway, and it vibrates and it has an LED light, and you can use it just to help clean your face. Is that something that's going to break down your Botox?
No, it shouldn't break down the Botox. I definitely want to see it because you don't want anything moving the product.
Yeah.
Some will say that you can move the product. Others feel that you can't. But again, you don't want to do anything within 24 hours.
Okay.
For people that bruise or are more sensitive, we do a complimentary LED light after some of the treatments if you're more sensitive. So we like to do that.
Okay. Ooh, which light is good for that?
We have red light.
Red?
Yes.
I love that. Love it. All right. I think we wrapped up Botox.
Yes.
Let's quickly talk about, before we get into dermal filler, we're going to talk about Beauty Fair and do a quick commercial break. I want to, and I posted this morning. Did you see my post this morning? My sponsor highlight.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I didn't even give you a heads up.
I know. I was just like.
So we did a sponsor highlight today on Instagram and on Facebook. And I'll do it on TikTok later and a couple other places, but I did a sponsor highlight. Mena is actually, Boost Your Beauty is actually one of our sponsors for Beauty Affair on May 22nd with Sonja Morgan. I know, I'm excited.
Oh my goodness, so excited.
Very excited. I've been prepping, this is why we did all the things last week, getting prepped. But I'm so excited for it. Guys, tickets are still on sale. And you want to buy them before May 21st because at the door, if there are any left, price will go up. And we have amazing giveaways, right?
Yes.
What are some of the things that we're doing? You're doing a dermal filler
yes.
syringe. Was it 20 units?
25 units of Botox.
25.
Toxin.
Were you a Hydra facial?
Maybe, I think so.
Hydrofacial.
Yeah, and Morpheus 8.
And the Morpheus 8, yes,
phenomenal.
which I've heard major amazing
Yes.
things about. But yeah, so we have really great giveaways that we're doing, raising money for Mission Restore. And let's just hit a little commercial, Tyler, and then we'll be back in a minute. Beauty Affair, a chic hip-hop brunch with over $10,000 in beauty giveaways, featuring celebrity guest Sonja Morgan. Guys, I have a mimosa bar, a Bloody Mary bar. There's going to be a beautiful brunch buffet, and it all starts at noon on May 22nd. Get your tickets now. VIP tickets mean you can hang with Sonja. BeautyAffairLI.com. I'll see you guys soon. All right, we are back with Filomena Abitino. Boost your beauty and merit.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get into, we just wrapped up Botox. Let's get in. I know, guys, we're going a little bit longer for this episode, but there's so much to get in, and I think it's so interesting.
Thank you.
I know. And I'm glad that I'm glad that we're really getting into the fillers. So, dermal fillers. I think that we know that there is a common misconception when it comes to fillers, right? I think people are seeing what celebrities are doing, and they're overfilling, resulting in that puppy pillow face or the dreaded Muppet face. And it turns people off or even frightens them. But you, Mena, you are an artist. Let's start from the beginning. You've perfected this craft, haven't you?
Yes.
How long have dermal fillers been a thing? How long have they been around? And then how long have you been injecting fillers?
So collagen was 1981. They used a skin test for that. So that was before me. I worked for a dermatologist. I remember doing the skin test. You had to come back to make sure you had no allergy to it, but they've perfected it, right? We have hyaluronic acid that's in our body, there's no allergy to it. And it came out in 2003. Restylane was the first one. So everyone knows their name. Restylane been around a long, long time. And I started injecting Restylane when it came out.
Right when it came out?
Yeah. So
That's
pretty
amazing.
much. It was when people were just coming in, keeping it a secret, not talking about this like we are.
Yep.
And it's just someone who just wanted to look better. They were going out in the workforce, someone who's just wanting to boost themselves.
So you have literally been doing it since the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning of time. The beginning of fillers. All right, so what are they made of? You just said, are they all is it hyaluronic acid and that's it? Like what?
So there are other ones, but I think, there's a lot of different ones, but I feel like majority of the time we're talking about dermal fillers, it's hyaluronic acid. So Juvederm, the Restylane, the RHA2. So I think it's, that's the best one to focus on today.
Okay. What are the most common places to inject fillers, and what are you looking, so this is where we can get into the good stuff, right? The most common places to inject, and what are we looking to achieve by injecting into these areas?
Like I mentioned before, I feel like I don't chase lines. So a lot of people come in saying they want to get Botox, and if they want to get the really, really full rejuvenation, I feel like filler is the way to go. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the lines on your forehead, if you smooth them out, they look better. But if someone has a lot of skin laxity, putting filler in to rejuvenate them is really the way to go. And what's amazing about it, it's immediate. It's immediate gratification. I inject you, you see it. You saw it.
No 2 weeks like Botox.
Yeah, no. And when you're injecting, if you're in my chair, I'll show you the mirror intermittently, and you literally see one side of your face lift and the other one's going down still.
Insane.
And it's amazing. It totally is.
I'm going to post, we'll do another short. Yeah. I'll do another short on YouTube, and I'm going to post. I did a video in between last time of half the face done. And you can literally see, I have a little clip for you in a minute, but it doesn't show the one corner going up and the one corner going down. It's completely insane. And even like the lift just up in here. Oh my gosh. So, So I want to talk about, actually talk about Restylane Contour by Galderma and what we did together at our last appointment 2 weeks ago. Let me get this video going. Tyler, are you ready for the contour video? Yep. Okay. So let's look at this. You can see my jowl, right? Mm-hmm. And then look at, this is the after.
Yeah.
Tell me what you were doing here. How did we get this?
So when I inject, I feel like I do little aliquots in little different areas of the face. What that is precise injections to kind of see that lifting factor. You know, I'm not filling you up. It's not the old way of doing things. I'm literally just contouring your face, and great name for the product is Restylane Contour.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's expression line technology that kind of just softens that area. And I chose that for you because I felt like you didn't need that much lift and projection. You just need to kind of contour.
Yes. So I did a live video in I was just about to say in Boost Your Beauty, in Beauty by, there's so many different names, I gotta remember them all. Beauty by Aliseo, Long Island Lash Queens, my private Facebook group. I did a live this morning in there while I was doing my makeup, and when I first came on the screen, I'm looking in the mirror at myself going, wow, look at this contour, guys. I'm like, I have skincare on. I don't even have makeup on yet. I'm like, I probably don't even really need to contour my cheeks right now, but I am because I have OCD and I have to do my routine.
It's true.
But like, it's insane, the actual contour that I have in my cheeks without any makeup on. Insane. So tell me, and I had a lot of people asking me when I said something about contour filler, they were like, what is that? What do you mean? So guys, you gotta ask Mena about contour. And I know we just did a little video a little bit ago, and I had her phone number that you can call to make an appointment or do like consults. Do you do consultations too?
Yes, all the time.
Okay. And you can go to the website, Boost Your Beauty. Medispa.com?
Yes.
Good. And you can also book there. And guys, get in early. She books up. She is at the top of her game. She is very busy, so get in early. But okay, back to fillers. All right, so the contour, amazing. Now we're doing different types of fillers in different areas, right? Yes. What are we doing on the lips? Tell me about what you did, because you did something a little bit different on my lips this time. You were literally like Michelangelo, carving it out. Like, tell me what we were doing to my lips.
So you have to look at the lips, how you're using your mouth. You know, long-standingly, we used to do just you put it in, we do some fanning, but now they've launched out the Russian technique. So depending on what you want to achieve,
right?
Yeah, and you kind of bring it up, little strides of it, very superficial, and it gives it more of a shape. And sometimes it brings it up, and you have like a little groove, but sometimes we'll soften that groove if you don't like that look. So there's different ways to do it, and I've put in the old way to do it with the new way of doing it, and it's just kind of just getting on the game to kind of how life evolves and technology evolves, being up to date with everything.
I know.
To get what you want.
I was highly impressed with the outcome of this. I mean, I'm impressed every time, but like I could see the difference this time. Like it was just a little bit more artistry to it. It was, I mean, I'm very, very happy.
Well,
and I don't feel overdone.
Well, the first time I injected you, yes.
I was a baby.
A soft and subtle product we used.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was new. So we did it less. And now you're like in it, you know, and you want it. And it's different.
I know.
So I was able to do more.
I can't imagine not, like, I look at old pictures of myself, and I'm like zooming in, and I'm like, oh my God, the lion. You know, like I just feel, like I said, you do the natural facial sculpting. I don't feel like I'm overdone. I just feel like you've enhanced and, you know, woken up, picked up, lifted up in certain areas. And I'm thrilled.
Thank you.
Thrilled. I have a lot of people that come to me, you know, all the people that I send to you always come back to me, and they're so happy. They're so excited. Something to remember when you are doing your fillers and your Botox and you're doing all the things, and if it's your first time, when it was my first time, there is a little bit of a settling period, right?
Yes.
After the fillers,
Yes.
what, a couple days?
Yeah, it's important that you're not scheduling, you don't have a wedding that day, because you can bruise.
Yeah.
You know, you can bruise with it.
I tend to bruise. I don't bruise really anywhere else but my lip, like my mouth area.
The lips have a lot of vascularization in it, so there's a lot of vascular, so it's more superficial, the injection, so that's where the vessels are, so you can bruise. It is very common. We try to do everything to avoid, you know, bruising, but sometimes it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. And if you're taking the Advil and
Yes.
doing all the things, whoops.
And patients will always say, I just took Advil. I had a migraine last night, or just like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know. And you forget or you don't realize. Or,
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely give it a couple days because there is a little settling down, especially when you do the lips. When you do the lips, the day and the day after, you can look in the mirror and say, what did I do? Oh my God. But once it settles and the because it's swollen, right?
What's important is that when you're in the office, what you're going to see is pretty much what you're going to get. So then it's going to swell.
Yeah.
So it's not going to stay like that.
Yes,
You might see some asymmetries, but that's just all going to go away because there was no new filler put in. If you didn't manipulate the area, it's just going to go back to what you loved in the office.
Yeah. So exciting. It's so exciting. So, let's see. Hold on. Okay, so let's talk about price. Dermal filler. Here's a question that I have. Is it how is it priced? Is it per syringe or is it the amount that you're doing, or do you tell me about that?
Most people do per vial. Some injectors will say you're paying for the results, but it's hard to assess. So most of the times it's more per vial.
Okay.
And you purchase a vial, and pretty much that vial is like liquid gold. You can put it anywhere. So you had mentioned that, you didn't want too much of one area, but as I'm injecting you, if I have a little bit, like say I do your lips, okay? That product, if you're like, I'm happy with my lips, I was just getting a boost, I don't want too much.
Yeah.
We could always bring the shadowing in the corners of the mouth like I did.
Yep.
Here, as we age, we get sunken in here, and that darkening ages us. So it's like makeup. You put highlights in certain areas to look better.
Yeah.
So that's what I do with my filler and how I inject. So it's a little different than, again, filling the area. It's more contouring the area and
Contouring.
putting in the right area and highlights.
We're not puffing.
I know, not puffing.
No puffing.
And then sometimes I could just soften something, like a little line that's bothering you that you wouldn't have thought of, but we have that little product. Sometimes this little crease. And I've even put stuff in earlobes,
Yeah. Interesting.
for your lobes that kind of after a while, they get a little creepy. And
Because you're wearing all the
yes, they have
dinks.
Yes, so putting a little in your lobe for a boost,
Okay.
and that's it.
You
can put it anywhere.
All right. So, could it be? This is just something that I was thinking about when I was thinking about the pricing. And maybe not with you, or definitely not with you, but with other people. Could the problem be that if they have to purchase an entire filler, that maybe they're using too much where they don't need it? Or is it just really who the injector is?
Yeah, it's how they're putting it, how much are you getting done, how often you're going, what your desired expectations or the injectors is.
Yeah.
They say that you attract what you inject. So pretty much, I feel like I'm very happy and grateful and thankful for the people that come to me because they're amazing, because it's more through word of mouth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's amazing.
It's so fun. I talk about you all the time. Like, oh yeah, I love Mena. I go to Mena. I love Mena. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone loves her. All right. So last question before we do any do's and don'ts of filler. I have never had to deal with this personally because my injector is the best. But there is an option to dissolve product.
Yes.
Why would somebody want to dissolve, and what does that entail?
It's just, again, another vial of liquid, and it's Hylenex or Vitrase. And if you have an area that settled some product, whether it's the way you injected or if it was manipulated, or sometimes if we're doing the lips and it migrates from being overfilled or just technique, you can put a little of that product in it, and it's an enzyme that dissolves the product.
Just dissolves it. Okay. And does that happen like right away, or does it take a couple days? Or
Pretty much you'll see it. If it's that much of a product,
Yeah.
you can see it, and
Yeah.
but we just say let it settle for 2 weeks, and then you could re-inject the area.
Okay, very interesting. One more thing that I would like to add, as because I know you're like a superwoman who injects her. She actually does it on herself. I don't know how she does this,
Motivation.
but I know I'm a little bit. I could be. Excuse me, one second. I can be a little bit on the baby side sometimes. No, but it doesn't hurt. The Botox is like a little pinch. You feel it go, and it's so quick. Like the video that I showed earlier while we were talking, you're literally like dink, 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 and it's just so quick and easy, not painful at all. But for me, around the lips, I'm more sensitive. But you have the Pronox too.
Yes.
She has the laughing gas, the Pronox. So if you're, I don't need it for anything else. I feel like for the lips, I like a little bit, but you have that option. So if you're afraid, you have that option with Mena. I think we've hit it. Oh, do's and don'ts. Did we do do's and don'ts of fillers? Do we have anything really? Or we kind of talk about everything?
Same thing like Botox pretty much, but it's definitely more important to follow the guidelines 24 to 48 hours, not to put makeup on again because you have more of the openings and you have the hyaluronic acid in it. The fillers.
No working out. No going upside down.
That was more for the Botox, but more the working out will just make you swell and bruise more.
Okay.
Most importantly, if you do get cold sores, you can get Valtrex before because you don't want to exacerbate a cold sore outbreak from having trauma to the lips from the injection. So I think that's mainly it. You know, we always give you, you know, a list of things. You know, it's on our Instagram, but
and on your
much,
website too. You have a couple blogs that are really good.
Yes.
Blog posts. Yeah.
Thank you. And we're redoing our website, so I
it's a beautiful website.
Yeah, it just needs more. Yeah.
Okay, I do. I was reading some of the blog posts, and they're very informative. I like that. I wonder how many people actually, you know, search through. But I was searching through, and I found it. All right, so. If you would like to make an appointment with Mena at Boost Your Beauty MediSpa in Merrick, the number to call is 516-868-3450. There we go. So you can call, make yourself a consultation, book your appointment. Again, make sure you're booking early enough and make sure you have enough time if you have an event coming up from the appointment to the event. And if you have never been to Boost Your Beauty, please mention Beauty Affair or Lindsay Aliseo. First-time customers will get a little discount. And I think we have come to the end of our Beauty Affair today.
Yes. And if they have any more questions, they could always reach us on Instagram and just message us.
Yeah. Make sure you jump over and follow her on Instagram. So I'm going to have all of the links to find Mena on beautyaffairpod.com. I'll have it in the comments of the YouTube video. Please, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. And that's it. Oh, and grab your tickets for Beauty Affair. Beauty Affair with Sonja Morgan on May 22nd. It's coming. It's very soon. Yes. We're almost there.
I know, so close.
I'm so excited. Sonja's excited too. I think me and Sonja are going to do a live this week. We'll see. All right. We have run out of time for this Beauty Affair. I love you. Oh, and thank you. Hi. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, MDS.
Yay! I love you. I appreciate you. Always be fabulous.
Follow, subscribe, like, laugh, love. Don't forget to share. This is Beauty Affair with Lindsay Aliseo.